It's always really good to start our day with some fantastic news, and I think we have some really good news here today in the form of Isaiah Thomas. First, we're going to bring you his reaction to getting cut from the Los Angeles Lakers. Then I'm going to hit you with some brand new breaking news that we just got from Shams in regards to where Isaiah Thomas is signing now. Before we get to the content, man, make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications for a chance to win $500. We're also giving away $500 when I finally hit 50,000 followers on Instagram. It's been taking longer than I thought, so my bad for that. I think we're like 300 followers away. And now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So about 2 weeks ago we made a video on Isaiah Thomas finally getting his opportunity in the NBA. This is after an entire year where we saw some pretty sad content of Isaiah Thomas crying, saying that everyone gave up on him like this.
These niggas gave up on me. They gave up on me.
That's what it's called. There's always the next thing.
Ultimately, since it's so easy to get Omicron currently, it seems like a lot more players are hitting COVID protocols. As a result, the NBA has given us a hardship exemption to allow teams to sign players to fill up benches in order to keep the NBA season going. And believe it or not, some executives are mad at Adam Silver for doing this. They expected the NBA season to shut down as opposed to continue forward with replacement players. Let me know in the comment section, whose side are you on? Would you rather have the NBA season shut down so we could come back and see our stars play, or do you like the idea that you're seeing these replacement players get an opportunity to show what they got in the NBA as a result of all of the COVID spread lately? Now, ultimately, one of the biggest beneficiaries to this situation is none other than Isaiah Thomas. About 2 weeks ago, he got his first opportunity with the Los Angeles Lakers after being out of the NBA for a little bit over a year. Ultimately, he signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think being with the Los Angeles Lakers, at least this point in time, was a very tough situation for him. Not to say that he performed well, because if I'm being honest, he didn't perform well with the Los Angeles Lakers. But typically, if you're a role player, like if Isaiah Thomas signed with the Lakers 2 years ago, that would have been a great situation for him. But the Los Angeles Lakers are a literal dumpster fire this year. They are still trying to figure out their identity. Things are not looking good for them at all whatsoever. Like, look at this clip of LeBron James from last night. This guy literally threw 3 no-look dimes that should have been 3 separate assists, and none of his teammates could convert on any of them. I mean, not to bag on my favorite team or anything, but the Lakers just aren't doing well this year, and adding Isaiah Thomas to the fold and trying to have him find his role on a team that already doesn't really know their identity very well just didn't seem like a great opportunity for the man to succeed. And that's on top of the fact that, again, he didn't really perform well to begin with. I mean, in his first game, he was 5 of 12 for shooting, 33% from 3, had 19 points, and overall, he shot 42% from the field. That was his best game with the Los Angeles Lakers. His next game, he was 3 of 7 from 3, scored 13 points, was overall 46% from the field, and then the final 2 games, he just really wasn't that good. He was 1 of 11 from the field against Phoenix in general. He only scored 3 points. He had a .091% field goal percentage, and then his final game against the San Antonio Spurs, 1 of 5 from the field, only scored 2 points, and they didn't play him against the Brooklyn Nets. The Lakers eventually opted not to re-sign him for a second 10-day contract, and Isaiah Thomas actually took it on the chin. He seemed to have been appreciative for the situation in general. He posted this onto his Instagram saying, "I am thankful for the opportunity at the Lakers, and the marathon continues." And guess what, guys? The marathon is 100% continuing. As of a week ago, the Dallas Mavericks had so many in COVID health and safety protocols. Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr., Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, Josh Green, LaQuarrie McLaughlin, and Trey Burke. They were also without Kristaps Porzingis a week ago and Willie Cauley-Stein a week ago because of personal reasons. Obviously, some of those players were able to make their way back more recently, but it seems like the Dallas Mavericks could use some help in regards to their depth. And I really like what the Dallas Mavericks are doing. I think Jason Kidd, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Jason Kidd is just what they needed because Kristaps Porzingis seems a little bit more comfortable. Him and Luka Doncic seem to be getting along a little bit better on the court. And ultimately, I feel like it's just a way better situation for Isaiah Thomas to go to. And guess what? According to Cham Charania, he 100% agrees because free agent guard Isaiah Thomas plans to sign with the Dallas Mavericks. Thomas is expected to join the team in Sacramento tonight. I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that Isaiah Thomas was currently already in California, so it's not too far of a ride to get to Sacramento to meet up with the team. I don't know how many minutes he's going to play. This is so unique of the NBA recently, where typically you'll see a player get signed and then literally suit up the next day and play meaningful minutes. I mean, I saw that happen to Darren Collison and Stanley Johnson on Christmas Day against the Brooklyn Nets, and I thought that was really, really incredible because usually you want 2 or 3 days to get acclimated to what the team's trying to do, get used to your teammates, try to figure out if your coach wants you to play defense in a specific way or what kind of sets you're trying to run. But it didn't seem like that's happening here at all whatsoever. Players are literally playing meaningful minutes the very next day after signing a contract with their brand new teams. Ultimately, I'm super happy for Isaiah Thomas. I love the fact that he keeps getting opportunity after opportunity, and this time, unlike last year, he's not just riding the bench and just playing like 5 or 10 minutes towards the end of garbage time, which is kind of what happened with him during his time with the Denver Nuggets and during his time with the New Orleans Pelicans. Ultimately, he's getting opportunities to show whether or not he's good enough to be in the NBA. Personally, I say this every single time we make a video on Isaiah Thomas, and this is as a guy that's rooting for him 100%. Temper your expectations. He's no longer the 2017 Isaiah Thomas. He sustained a hip injury, unfortunately, and he's still a nice little offensive spark plug off of the bench, in my opinion. He's still a huge defensive liability, but I don't think those days of him going off for like 35 or 40 points and just absolutely lighting up the NBA like he did in 2017 are coming back. So needless to say, I'm just happy that the man's getting an opportunity to hoop. I'm happy that he's getting an opportunity to get a bag, and I am going to be rooting for him through and through. Let me know in the comment section down below, do you think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be Isaiah Thomas's team this year? Do you think he's going to end up staying there for the long haul? Or do you think he's not going to get a second 10-day contract once again? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.